Good. And now call to order the regularly scheduled meeting of the Natrona County Board of County Commissioners for Tuesday, January 4th, 2022 to order. Madam Clerk, we have roll call, please.
Commissioner Hendry?
Here.
Commissioner Kaufman?
Here.
Commissioner Milne?
Here.
Commissioner North?
Here.
Chairman Bertolio?
Here. Thank you. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. At this point, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Milne.
Thank you, Chairman. Kind of wrote something down a little bit because otherwise I'd probably mess it up. Let me turn that on. I'd like to request a moment of silence for all those who have sacrificed for our freedoms and security, those heroes that have given their lives, physical and mental health. Specifically tonight, however, I want to thank a Casper hometown hero for his sacrifice and thank his family for raising such an upstanding young man, Lance Corporal Jared Warden. If we can have a moment of silence, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Milne. Would like to welcome you to our workshop here. Santa Claus has not officially left here. No, I'm just kidding. We are in the process of microfishing a significant number of documents, and this is their workroom. So please bear with us on our mess. At this point, I believe we have to do elections tonight, as was informed. Is that correct? For us?
So, Mr. Chairman, I do believe, I'm going to look at Clerk Good. I think that the first meeting of the year, typically the commission elects the chair and vice chair.
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Hendry.
I would move to that we vote Paul Bertolio in as chairman and Brooke Kaufman in as vice chairman.
I'd
for this
second
year.
that.
It's been moved by Commissioner Hendry and seconded by Commissioner Milne to keep the existing leadership for another 2 years. Or no, oh no, oh no, oh no, for another year. Is there any dissent? There being none, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you. I think.
You did a good job.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to remove off the consent agenda item A, which was the Ingberg Miller proposal for surveying and engineering services for 3 picnic shelters at Bear Trap Campground on Casper Mountain, which was tabled at the last meeting.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hendry, second by Commissioner Milne to remove from the table item A. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. At this time, I would ask for a motion to approve the aforementioned contract. As there's no motion or no second, the item dies on the table, which doesn't mean anything other than it's procedural. It is farther down already under the consent agenda. At this point, I would entertain a motion to approve the remaining consent agenda, which is items B through G.
So moved.
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Commissioner Hendry, second by Commissioner North to approve the remaining consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Hendry.
Yeah, just note that there is a revised contract with Ingbird Miller to do the bear trap campgrounds on Casper Mountain, and so there was a little wording change, and so it is on this consent agenda.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Hoffman.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. So there is Resolution 322 to support the establishment of a film office within Visit Casper organization. I just wanted to make a note that there is no fiscal or budgetary note tied to that. It's really just the county giving a thumbs up to say, yes, we agree to work with the other municipalities and Visit Casper as film productions or potential that are brought to the county. So I just wanted to make note of that. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Commissioner Milne.
I'm going to get in on that one, tailing off what Commissioner Hoffman just said. As we rework the county zoning and plans, there will be specific language in there to assist film production within the county to make it a little bit easier for them to come in, do a job, and provide those.
Okay. Any other comments? There being none, all those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We have no public hearings tonight, so at this point, we'd entertain any comments from the public.
I'll be the entertainment tonight.
Well, you're much better looking tonight than
Well,
you were the
what's
last
that?
time. You're much better looking tonight than you were.
You
Well,
know,
and encourage.
it's all Brooke's fault. She didn't tell me I had the suit on backwards. But no, it was really the Queen of England who got to dress me that night. And I didn't know I was part Grinch and part Santa Claus. But unfortunately, the Queen of England has been hiding my suit. And the outfit disguises in Denver, they're all over me. But that was fun. So
Name and address.
you know, I look around here, and I'm obviously been with family, okay, this whole time. And this is a wonderful thing. But the teamwork this year, we all figured it out. And it breeds right out into the public. And you've had a lot of cooperation. And I'd like to thank the staff members that come to the meetings. And we got things going right on, but I almost forgot how this all started today, but I be the heir. I'm not Tracy John Lamont, I'm Daniel Lamont, okay? And I'm not gonna run a lot of surprises, but everybody better be at that first night on April Fool's Day, because I'm gonna be fooled myself. You know? But when we pull apart, you know, out of petty and jealousies and resentments and envy and greed, and it's pretty sad. But bottom line is, I've been snatched up twice and moved, and I know who my parents are now, but I'm not going to get into that. A few of you know that. But it's a wonderful story. But we are the royal family of the USA, every one of us. So we're going to be changing things. Okay, I got to get my bag here. I knew I was onto something. Thank God for Facebook and newsfeed. I can't believe how many people are for fear of that book. Most of us read the book 1984, Big Brother's Watching Over You, but when they bought those computers, it says Intel right on them. That's our NSA. Thank God we got them. And Facebook gets owned by the government too. But there's a lot of intruders, a whole bunch. And there are people that believe in the devil, and there is no devil. We'll put that to bed right now. But you always see the picture of the devil. He's got a pitchfork, he got his tail, but what's always behind him? Flames, right? They're burning us down. They kill the trees first. That's bug warfare. West Nile, Bob Peck. I saw him when he obviously is a brother. They couldn't even see. COVID, we beat them at their own game. So those that can't be rehabilitated, they're gone. They're not coming back. And Hitler had something to do with this, but I got to tell you, divine intervention, I'm a believer now, because I haven't got through this by myself. I've been shot at, I've been beat up, but mine, according, in talking to some of the young girls particularly, oh man, I sat and cried with a lot of them. I spent over a year, not in the nut huts, not in the nut huts at all. Those are the house of genius, because we all are very bright. But we were this close to losing it until this young lady right here, secretary, she literally saved the universe. And I'm not joking you. Now, I pushed the edge of the envelope a couple times. If you don't hydrate, if you don't eat, but I've had about 12 hours of sleep in the last 2 weeks because I'm that committed to bringing us all together. But Downey Lamont turned everything to the youngest grandson over in North Dakota, and I be that one. But what's mine is yours. Does that make sense? I'll say that once again. What's mine is yours. I don't know how many of you have read my obituary, my biographical sketch. I got to tell you, that's my obituary, but I want you all to look at that, and I want one of you, whoever the chairman is, to read it back to me at the next meeting, the last few paragraphs. And if I die penniless, I feel like I'm a wealthy man. It's not the money we have in the bank based on greed or grabbing everything. It's our friends. It's our family. That's what means everything to us. And I'm pretty passionate about this. I've been on this for 35 years. And yes, I've been the U.S. Marshal for 35 years. Pat Crank got me into this a long time ago. My dad ran Little Chicago. It wasn't Little Chicago, it was Big Chicago. Little Chicago was back there. It happened right out our back door here. Stuff in this courthouse because of greed. It was Joe Kennedy, liquor cartels. John F. Kennedy, Marilyn Monroe are one of my 11 on the father's side and the mother's side. I'm not going to give you the rest. But Kennedy was greedy. They took all the families' whiskey companies back east and dumped them because they wanted to control that. And they got all the politicians involved. And there was courthouse, lights not on this courthouse, but the old one. But has anybody ever looked into the Casper conspiracy trial? I can tell you that man right back there had. But I be Uncle Sam, okay? Because I inherited all that. But Uncle Sam be a secret agent man, just like a bunch more. And you have some sitting amongst you. I think there's probably 5 of them sitting right there. We have secret gettings of girls, and I got them to rewrite the song, but man, it's terrible. They don't have any rhythm, okay? But I got fed a lot of this stuff, but a lot of you did too. I hope some of you, I know Jim did, he's a lawman. But we're all lawmans, that's what Lamont means. And, the Farkers, remember Meet the Farkers on TV? That's the Farquharsons. And the Farquharsons were the Lamont, but they all started fighting amongst one another with the Campbells. And I lived with the Campbell, and she didn't kill me, but she didn't know she was heirs to the Campbell Soup Company. And Wynn over in Las Vegas, Casper was the precursor to Las Vegas. Eric Nelson will tell you that. He's been watching me real close. We're all royalty. But there's a lot of peasants out there too. And Rob, I feel for you because you're adopted, but you'll figure it out. We're lost souls. Did you ever feel like you had an empty hole in the heart? That's why you chased this. I helped my brother. That's Helen Minton's kid. My older brother, he acted as my guardian angel, but who in hell in the royal family is called Tracy? Like it's Dick Tracy. But I met Richard Shaw, had breakfast with him. I've been rounding them up right and left. I'm sorry I've been in your guys' ear, but thank you. Because we're getting our country back. We're that close to being annihilated by the Gateses. And I tell you, the Queen of England, I tried to convince her to go from the Democrat Party to the Demo Party. I've made some headway. You guys know Bruce Bundy? That's my older brother. That's Chief Little Raven. But I'm Uno from the drip system. Happened in the little building over in Riverton. My mother drive home, boy, that place gives me the creeps. I don't care how I got here, we're here. You can't look back, but there's some real sickos, and I'm going over tonight to take care of that, and they won't be coming back. You know, the chief of police, I'm your friend. I know he wasn't my friend. So we're going to have some changes. And you know what I'm really prideful of? Gus Hallbrook, he got a vote from all his staff, a lack of confidence. So he had the courage to bail out. So we have a great man in there. Now he's got a German name. So not all people are bad that are Germans. Not all red eyes are bad. Kate Tierland's one of them. You guys are all my sisters and brothers. And we are all one another too. But we have sons and daughters too. But if you're a diamond in the card deck and you're married, you better keep your Peter in your pants, okay, boys? And excuse me, I don't care. I don't care. It's time for that to be said. So that's what's led to a lot of deaths. I'm going to save some of the intricacies, but, you know, there might be a few people coming back that have been hid. These people are that evil. So, you know, like Louis Armstrong said, this is a wonderful world after all. And I think I've been around the block a couple of times. How about you guys? You ever see any illusions? I wear 11 hats I got here. And I think I may wear 12. So I'm going to walk you through that, and it's kind of a dry run what I'm going to do over there.
Okay, you've got about another
Well,
5 minutes.
this is
'cause then
important.
well,
Okay? Right there, you know. My grandfather got here in 1890, but my great-great-grandfather got here in 1834. And he gave it all to me, and I have it all right now. And if anybody wanted to doubt that, we'll take that up at April Fool's Day, okay? This guy right there, he knows what I'm talking about. But this one, and I've got all the hat clips here. I take a great deal of pride in this state right here. But it goes back to 1834 with me. And, you know, I don't appreciate people stealing from me. I call them horse thieves. And we got a very integral group here right now in the law enforcement. I am the the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And the chief, there's one right there. You just didn't know that. So we've got Harlan. Chief Schultz will be coming to the chief tonight across the street. So we're going to be meeting at Mick McMurray's house. I probably ought to cover that, okay? Mick paid the price for us. He caught his dad stealing. He figured all this out. Mick's coming back, okay? He never got shot. He shot the shooter, came to shoot him. And there isn't anything comes out of this mouth, and Brick will tell you that isn't the truth, right? Thomas Edison, the poet, wasn't Edison. Who am I thinking of? I've mentioned it many a time. Mark Twain. Nice thing about telling the truth, you don't have to remember anything. But I'm going to say, all this has been documented, okay? I know what's going on here. They're trying to find your guys' land because I've told them to get it back to you. That's real simple to do. You go on GLO, BLM, land record search. I've got hours in this stuff, guys. I gave up my job. I made over $280,000 a year. I gave it up. I live on Social Security right now on them. So money means nothing to me. Family means everything to me. Everything. So I don't want to hear that I got much time. You're going to listen to what I have to say, Paul. If not, we're going to go out and we're going to go to the woodshed and we'll come back in. Okay?
okay.
And
Tracy.
You're allowed to.
Tracy,
You're allowed.
may I have a quick word? Yeah.
Pardon? I got an appointment in 10 minutes, and
That's fine.
I'm going across the street. So right there is
Tracy,
the problem.
don't
okay?
threaten anybody here.
Your money's
okay?
cut off, okay?
Fine.
I'm done.
But Tracy, don't threaten
done.
anybody.
You just ratted yourself out, Mr. Bartolio. You're German. You're on the bad side of the equation.
If I'm German,
No, that's
I
fine.
would really
Just
like to
leave
know where
leave it
Bertolio
alone.
comes from.
Just leave it alone, okay?
Okay, Tracy, I think we're done here tonight.
Oh, we're
And you
fine.
can go over and,
I'm going across the
all right,
street.
good luck tonight.
And I will close with this, okay? I've got it right here. There's an ongoing federal investigation going on, and I lead the show, okay? Attempt to commit murder or manslaughter. That's happened to me about 8 times. Protection of employees, I've got the codes right here. So there could be a couple guys leaving the meetings over there, not too good a thing, conspiracy to commit murder on a federal agent. I'm going to tell you, the FBI has already been dissolved in Denver. It's been taken over by Navy intelligence. And you're shutting me down here. You're interfering with that investigation, Paul. That's a fact. Conspiracy to commit murder, obstruction of justice, aiding and abetting. The party's over, okay? And I'll leave it at that. But I run the show right now. We have the Army. Has anybody ever been out to Robinson Road and seen all the barracks housing out there? Dave has. He knows exactly what's going on. The Air Force has been in here since 2014 when I kicked this off. Trimble, we won't have a U.S. attorney any longer, and our governor's involved in it too. All the way from the governor, U.S. district attorney, or the District of Wyoming. The DCI is history. It'll be replaced by the Wyoming Rangers. And I be the chairman. What I put together, Tracy John Lamont, Natrona County Watchdog Chairman of the FCID, that's just the county division. So we'll have a new division. Art DeWork is coming back to run it. It'll be based out of the, and he's writing all this. This is my son over here, okay? So he'll be breaking the news in Oil City News tomorrow. So Dana Perino has already been contacted. She happens to be the cousin to one of my cousins in Rollins. We're all related. We're all cousins. So, you know, they're the devil worshippers, and there's no such thing. But they've been killing our families. My son's twin, they robbed him out of the hospital up here. He ends up in California with my uncle, who ran the Los Angeles outfit. He's sleeping in a tent behind Mattress Warehouse because they're pulled back here, and I'll tell you why they've been pulled back here in a minute. I think I'll save that for April Fool's Day. We got to have a little bit of surprise, don't we, Brooke? This be my daughter right here, okay? True story. So she's much prettier than I am, but we've all been working different sides of the street. But they've been killing. Christine Hopkins made a commitment. I didn't even know it. I run into her. She'd been walking for 2 years for the Secret Service, Paul. Till 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning was the German Shepherds. Dave Mallory, that's a German name, her husband, and Andrew Schneider, who I was on to, he's a high priest of the devil worshippers. They killed her. They cooked her. They burned her at the stake. And you won't hear that in the news right now, but you hear it on April Fool's Day. But guess what? She's coming back. Did you guys ever watch the movie, The Body Snatchers? I never have. I watched them, but I watched Michael J. Fox, did we not? So I've already talked to 2 or 3 people that have been there and come back. And I'm not crazy, okay? I'm not crazy. I spent over a year in the house of genius, not the house of insanity. And I can't tell you, begin to tell you what the little girls have gone through, daddy's little girls and so forth. When you're the old fart in those places, they gravitate to you because they never had any family. They never taught me. My dad didn't tell me he loved me until 2 years before he died because I didn't belong to him. That's pretty sad. My mother, they called her the Virgin Mary. She was artificially inseminated in a little clinic up in Riverton. Rob probably knows where it's at. You know, and it was, there was right catty corner, Rob, across from City Hall. We'd go by there and say, oh, that place gives me the creeps. So, but it's okay, we're here. But we all ended up here, and I'm going to tell you how we got here. Johann von Lamont discovered magnetism way back. That gave the opportunity for them to build the scope for Columbus to come over here. And there wasn't anybody here, but I'll tell you there was. And it was the blacks from India, and they got over without the equipment. So the magnetism, when Stalin, not but Hitler, he snuck it into us through Planned Parenthood and whatever else. But I just think something was going on before that. It isn't my job to figure it out. But when I was standing here I was talking, That was the magnetism coming off the towers over K2 out here at Midwest Heights on the mountain and out on Hot 6 Road. And it's pulling on me right now. There's still a few of them around. And I'm not talking out of school. I'm the one that's saying there. If you don't believe me, you guys need to go see the shrink, okay? And I'll send you the family shrink. That'd be Jennifer Festata. I'm going to finish with the hats. Okay. Now, Paul, you're going to be arrested.
I look forward to that, Tracy.
Okay,
I've let
that's
you
fine.
go on now for 20 minutes,
I'm going to tell you who the
and
service is.
you,
I'm-
I'd ask you to be
Paul, you're
brief.
digging yourself a deeper hole?
Tracy, I'm not digging any hole. I'm just
Oh, yeah,
asking
yeah.
you to respect our rules, which we
I
typically
do.
ask people to get to a point.
Respect
And you,
me, Paul.
I am
Respect your
respecting you.
elders, okay?
Tracy, if you would, just,
I wouldn't judge another till you walk in their shoes, okay? So,
Tracy, we are not
I'm
gonna
gonna
stay
tell
here
you
all
right
night.
there, we have back the blue, but the FOP is right there, okay? And that would be Black Lives Matter, literally. And that'd be the BLM that's taking our trees down. You're the custodian of my real estate here, Paul, so I think I'd listen. Okay? We got the Marines are in here. Some of them haven't been home since 2014. Their homes, they were brought in here. We had a complete rollover. And the shady lady, that's Tim. That's Liz Becker. She got them all over there. We couldn't cause pandemonium here. So, it's time to tell the truth. Okay, we've got the Air Force, and that's the Space Docking Station. Mr. Ledbetter, who is one of my donors, he did the Space Docking Station, had the highest level of Navy clearance. The Coast Guard, I don't have a clue what they're doing in here, but they're here, all Special Forces. I got a lot of money invested in this, Paul, so give me about 5 minutes, because I got to get over there and do my job. That guy, he's the dictator over there. He changes the meeting date, so I can't get over there fast enough to talk, but that's in there. Pacheco's a good guy, okay? He's been on my team since you went over there, so you're caught, okay? So we've got the Navy, and we got the Army, and we'll save this one for later. So, thank you, gentlemen. Paul, you're busted. Got that? Thank you, okay? They'll be knocking on your door soon, okay? You did a good job. Greed will get you every time, it'll consume you in a heartbeat.
okay. I wish you the best over
I
across
wish
the
you the
street.
best. I'll leave it right here. We got a nice buffalo. Evidently didn't get the memo. There was a new sheriff in town, but there's been a new marshal in town for 35 years. I love that buffalo. I love that American flag, but we're going to be calling this country something different, okay? And we're going to be sitting in round tables. We're not probably going to have this council anymore. This might be the last night, okay? And Trump will be here, and he's going to get the same tail chin I'm giving you right now. Shame on him for what he did. And then we got Wyoming, and I'll leave it at that.
All right, thank you.
And I got her pen here, okay? Thank you for allowing me to do this, okay? I didn't want to do that. Eric, thank you for all you've done, okay? There's nobody else to speak tonight, thank you.
Okay,
Denial is a terrible thing. Terrible. But guilt's worse. And those that are guilty will be behind, sitting on a firing charge, and I won't be doing the shooting, because their heads are warped. Thank you.
all right. Anyone else wishing to address the commission tonight? There being none, comments by commissioners. Commissioner Milne?
I pretty much made my statement at the beginning, and I'm sure one of you may have further to speak about this, but my heart and thoughts go to all those family down in Colorado. I've got friends who live down in that area. They all, luckily, nothing happened to them, but there's people that they know that were right in the middle of it, so.
Yeah. Absolutely. Commissioner Hendry?
You know, I don't have anything. They experienced a fire like we had several years ago that went out northeast of town, and we're just lucky there wasn't more houses in our path than there
Absolutely.
was. So it's pretty tough to deal with if you're in a fireman. So our sympathies go out to those people.
All right, thank you. Commissioner North?
I just want to reiterate that, you know, over 1,000 homes either lost or damaged. And a lot of people don't understand, but that's very similar situations to what we had in '88 when we had the Yellowstone fires. And firemen can do very little under those conditions. And people don't understand that. When you have high winds and dry conditions like that, there's really not a whole lot they can do. And what put that fire out down there was the snow. It wasn't the firemen. And so I just want everybody to be careful because we're very dry up here. And with the winds we've had and power lines that go down, we could have something very similar happen very quickly if we aren't careful. So I just want to make sure that everybody here, you know, whether you live in town or out in the county, to be careful and be aware of what's going on and eliminate those fuels that are around there that can carry those kind of fires. So I've seen way too much of that stuff in my life, and it's just sad. And one of the good things that I did see on there was a vet that showed up on Sunday morning, and he had been in Florida when his house burned out. But the first thing he did was bring back an American flag and put it up on his property to put a little color back into it and to show that we do have faith in this country and we do have faith in what we can do if we just tie ourselves together and work together toward a common goal. Thanks.
Thank you. Commissioner Kaufman?
Mr. Chairman, so I would echo the sentiments for the families that lost their homes in Colorado. I would also say I'm really looking forward to 2022. I feel like 21 was a slog year for a whole lot of reasons, and I'm very hopeful of what the 2022 holds for the county and some projects and getting things off the ground and across the finish line and collaborating with stakeholder groups. So I'm very hopeful, and I welcome the opportunity to work with all of you again for another year. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And I would echo everyone's sentiments, and with that, you're adjourned.